Hello, Facebook friends, USBGF Facebook friends. Phil Simborg at the Bar Point Club tonight, Tuesday night. I was playing my good friend Herb, and we were playing a match, and it's double match point, and Herb has a 5-1 to play here. So, what's your play? Okay. Herb made one play. I thought it was wrong. We debated it. Greg DeFotis, another very fine player, was watching, and he debated it, and he went with me. We both agreed. And we both agreed Herb was wrong, and Herb doesn't like to be told he's wrong. Well, a good thing happened. Another fine player walked along, David Rockwell. And not only did David Rockwell get the right play, he explained it to us in the right way. So first of all, what's your play? Okay, one of the plays is to clear the 5-point. One of the plays is to clear the 6-point. That's what we debated about. They're both wrong. The right play is to take one off the 6-point. Let's put it in plus and get a better reading. By the way, see how these are already done in 4-ply because it's got 4 little bars? That's not good enough for us. We're too good for that. Plus gives us a really, really strong reading other than a rollout. And it clearly shows you win a lot more games. And at double match point, that's all that matters. You win 42.1 games instead of 39.3 games by taking one checker off the 6-point. Ah! It hit us all, of course. If he comes in with a 6, you want to get hit. You have another chance to hit him, right? Wrong. It's not about that at all. That's what the logical answer was for us. But David Rockwell cleaned it up for us. If he does hit you, let me just show you what happens if you make the right play and he hits you. And now you're on the bar, and you're on roll. I ran this. Red only has 10% winning chances here. So it's not about giving yourself 10% if you get hit. That's not the reason. If you get hit, you're probably going to lose anyway. Here's the reason. The reason is that with this play, by taking one checker off, you are, if you don't get hit, you're likely to hold your 5 best points, not best points, your 5 points longer. And the longer you can hold points, the longer the blue stays on the bar, the more likely you are to win. And that's what this is all about. And that's a monstrous principle in these positions. Now, we tested David's theory. How would you play a 5-3 here? Again, most people would take a checker off and maybe leave a blot or not. Hardly anybody, unless you've studied this, would think to keep a 6-point board and place both checkers to the ace-point. It's that ugly. But this certainly does prove David's hypothesis. Keeping as many points as long as possible is your best chance to win this game. By the way, you should know this reference position right here. Before the roll, what are Red's odds of winning this game when Blue has 8 checkers off? About 50-50. So it's important to know that. And by the way, in the initial position, if Blue had another checker here and you roll a 5-1, it would still be right to leave the shot, but not by very much, only by about 1%. Of course, there's a point where you wouldn't. You can see by 0.011%. Of course, if you add another checker, that's all it would take to swing it the other way. And you still take a checker off, but you don't play 6 off. It's a 4% error. Now, how are you supposed to know this stuff? You're supposed to study it, remember it, and learn it. That's how you're supposed to know this stuff. You're not supposed to be born a genius. And if you were born a genius, you wouldn't know this stuff unless you learn it. This is what deliberate practice is all about. And David obviously paid his dues and understood this better than 3 other pretty good players, including myself. But You can be sure I'm going to study it now. I don't want David to do this to me next time. It's embarrassing. Not really. I'm not embarrassed at all to have somebody as good as David Rockwell tell me what to do. That's why he's a member of Mind Game Center. I'm sorry, the Backgammon Learning Center, along with Stick and Perry and myself and John O'Hagan, teaching lessons. David is really very sharp. And thank you, David, for this lesson, and I'm happy to share it with our USBGF audience. Comments, questions would be most appreciated, and I'd love to hear how many of you got this right. Are you as honest as I am to admit that you got it wrong? Good. It's a wonderful thing to find out where you're wrong. That means you've got a sign that there's something you need to study and improve on. I've got an excuse. I've only been playing for 56 years. What's your excuse? Bye-bye.